So before I start, I just want to make it clear that you shouldn't be taking life advice from weirdos on the internet. You have plenty of weirdos close to you to give you terrible advice, so rely on those people. Still, there are exceptions to this rule, and I am of the firm belief that you should listen to every word I say and follow my instructions to the letter. Especially if you want to be more attractive to those you're attracted to and have your dangleberry double in size. I do know a little bit about games though, so with the money you've got left after you've bought my supplements, you should think about getting these games as they are crucial to having a well-rounded collection. Now, these might not be the absolute best games ever made, although they're all fantastic, but all of them fill their own particular niche and ensure that whatever crowd you have at game night and whatever mood they're in, you'll have something to accommodate them. There is nothing worse than staring slack-jawed at your wall of games and not knowing what to play. Even the most recalcitrant arse, and you know who you are, will be satisfied with at least one of these titles. So I've, through rigorous scientific study, come up with the 5 categories that fully encompass every conceivable situation you could come across during a night of games, and if you can think of any other possible situation, well, you're wrong and you should really take a look at yourself. These 5 categories are classic, filler, strategy, stupid and inane but hilarious, and fighty. See? I told you it was scientific. Also, it's a little known fact that these are the 5 states of human emotion as stated by the World Health Organization. So strap in, prepare to be educated, and make sure to get these 5 games so your collection is rounded out and you don't end up being giggled at Victorian dinner parties. Of the big 3, Catan, Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne, Carcassonne is the game I would choose every time. While the other 2 are undoubtedly wonderful, Carcassonne is the one that resonates with me the most and gives me all of those warming mental tingles. Carcassonne can sometimes be like ludological therapy. There is a real haptic and visual joy in seeing the bucolic vista that you and the rest of the players around the table create. In every game, you build a new map, and every map is yours and the people you've played that particular game with. Also, turns are short, and you have an investment in seeing where the other players are going, so you never feel checked out, you never feel bored. This is just one side to Carcassonne. If it was just a pleasant experience, it couldn't be on a list of must-have games. No, there is a dark side to Carcassonne. If you are of a mind, you can turn the beautiful French hills into a killing field, because, played in the right spirit, Carcassonne can be brutal. It is a testament to this perfect design that playing it at a high level completely changes its character. It turns a balmy afternoon hike into a death march. It turns into a seriously competitive game of real skill, with players blocking one another, stealing cities and hijacking farms. Carcassonne is a must-have game because it can be played with your overly sensitive maiden aunt who's over for a visit, or that one dickhead in your game group that you want to give a ludological slap around the face to. After 20 years, this game is still fresh and innovative and greatly enjoyable. There is no doubt you need a copy of Carcassonne in your collection. Short and simple games don't have to be shallow and pointless. Sometimes the simplest of rules can lead to the most agonising of decisions. This is No Thanks, the king of little card games. There is a card in the middle of the table and you have a handful of chips. Take the card and you score points equal to its value, but points are bad in No Thanks and you want as few of them as possible. So you put a chip on it. This means you don't have to take it and the game begins. Apart from a couple of little things, I've just taught you how to play No Thanks. It may sound laughably simple, but this tiny collection of rules results in you screwing up your face and cursing the choices you've made in life that have led you to this one decision. If you run out of chips, You have to take the card on the table no matter what it is, so you have to be judicious in taking cards because they might have loads of chips on them, and you get all of them if you take the card. Sometimes you have every intention of taking the card on the table, but you want to use it to harvest chips, so you let it go around the table one more time, and then that smug bastard opposite you takes it from under your nose. No Thanks is a filler, but the kind of filler you end up playing all night because it's just so damn good. The rules of these games transform it from some simple little card game to a vicious game of human psychology. You have to try and clamber into the brains of your opponents and do what they were going to do before they have the chance to do it. Great games exist above the table as well as on it, and No Thanks is brilliant at this. If you have a few minutes to spare waiting for someone, or you want to close the night down in style, well, you'll be glad you have No Thanks in your collection. There are thousands upon thousands of strategy games out there. Thousands upon thousands of shipping stroke, trading stroke, economic games set in some point of history. But none of them will make you feel as good as Concordia. This should be in your collection for two reasons. Firstly, it's one of the best designed Euro games out there, and secondly, if you ever feel low on serotonin, have a game of Concordia and your brain will be swimming in a surfeit of happy chemicals. This game is perfectly designed. You play a card and then you do what it says. It's the way these cards interact, though, that makes a game of Concordia so brilliant. It's just so well put together. Strategy games have been getting heavier and heavier over the last decade, with mechanisms being piled on top of one another till you don't have a game anymore, just an unsightly pile of mechanisms. Learning how to play the bloody thing becomes the challenge, not actually being any good. Concordia eschews this decadence and provides you with an experience that is vital, engaging and rewarding without needing a PhD in shitty engineering to fathom what's going on. With the precision of a master, Mac Gertz has created something profound. This is a game in your collection that your game group will become obsessed with. The one that they will want to play again and again. This is the game in your collection that will yield golden memories. And just by simply looking at the box on your shelf, you will be transported to those wonderful times with those wonderful people. Get this one. As a child, I used to doodle on my school exercise books. Sometimes it would be random, abstract patterns, sometimes terribly rendered pictures of friends and family. Mostly, though, I would take great delight in drawing parts of the human anatomy. If you think that's weird, it has been a trend that has followed the human animal throughout its history, and for reference, I show you this little bit of Roman graffiti. I used to especially love drawing this particular part of the human body on a friend's essay, knowing that he had to hand it in to the teacher at the end of the lesson. This is Telestrations. Well, at least if you're playing Telestrations right. A game of willfully misunderstanding language as a pretext to draw cocks. And if the op is watching this, you can put that quote on the box. This is undoubtedly the most childish and inane game that will be in your collection, and it will be without doubt the funniest. I have played Telestrations so many times, and every time I finish crying with laughter. When you play this game, people naturally enjoy being transgressive, and I've never seen it go over the line, though there is that possibility. But you get to set your own line, and that is a great part of this game. There are those people, especially the dickheads on that funky new platform X, that will tell you that drawing all these cocks is infantile. These are the people you should refrain from listening to because they are insufferably dull. There is a quiet joy in being childish, and don't let a load of bourgeois prudes tell you otherwise. Someone slipping on a banana skin is still hilarious, and though a game of Telestrations will be far from sophisticated, it'll be bloody hilarious. Now, you've seen the world out there. If it doesn't make you want to have a scrap sometimes, well, there's something wrong with you. Still, Walking up to some stranger and lapsing them in the dial because of global warming is not a good idea. So I recommend you stay at home and slap your mates around with the fightiest of fighting games, Kemet. This game is just pure adrenaline. The map is designed in a way that no matter where you are, you're always within range of someone to slap. This is the joy of Kemet. You score points for attacking, not defending. The map is logistically set up to optimise fightability, so you have no choice but to take off your waistcoat and go in swinging. There are loads of juicy power-ups to ensure that your blows are as effective as possible, and there are cool-looking monsters that add to your arsenal. Kemet is a game that revels in the joy of carnage. Sometimes you want a zen, contemplative experience, then you read the newspaper and you want to twist people's heads off, and Kemet lets you do this safely. It's not some dumb fighty game though, it's brilliantly designed and delivers a fantastic experience every time. We are a violent animal, there is no escaping that. But if you can channel your violence in the right way, you can ameliorate the danger of that violence, and Kemet is a brilliant way to channel it. You need this game in your collection, especially when you're wound up. So, thanks for watching, and let me know which games are must-haves in your collection. I mean, you'll be wrong, but I'd like to know your opinions. Also, you can like and sub and that. You can buy gorgeous 5G4D t-shirts at sirmeeple.com. And if you want to help these videos get made and be like this collection of bona fide saints, you can go to patreon.com/5G4D. There's a ton of bonus content that you'll be sure to find puerile. Right, I'm off to go and look at a tree. At least that won't wind me up.